We need to end the merry-go-round. I said I was going to fundamentally change our country, and I meant it. We'll take some questions from the media briefly. Can I start with the BBC?
Thank you. Chris Mason at BBC News. Let's cut to the quick, Prime Minister. You gave your Home Secretary the heave-ho on Monday. The court has shredded your Rwanda plan today. It's a total shambles, isn't it?
Chris, if you look at the track record of our policy tackling illegal migration, as I said earlier, we've done more in the last year. Can I next turn to ITV?
Anushka Astana, ITV News. Prime Minister, your party Vice Chair Lee Anderson says ignore the law. Just put the planes in the air and send them to Rwanda. You have just made clear that you respect the law. So will you sack him, or do you understand where he's coming from? And if no one is sent to Rwanda before the next election, will you admit that you failed?
Well, I think what Lee's comments, and indeed the comments of others, do is reflect the strength of feeling in the country on this issue. And that's why we'll take all the necessary steps to ensure that we can remove any further blockages to us getting this policy executed and getting planes leaving as planned in the spring of next year. Next to Times Radio.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Kate McCann from Times Radio. Your own Home Office has said that it identified, and I quote, some concerns with Rwanda's human rights record around political opposition to the current regime, dissent and freedom of speech. We've looked at the country conditions and assessed that Rwanda is generally a safe country for asylum seekers and refugees. How can Parliament be certain that Rwanda is a safe country if your own Home Office isn't certain? And can you guarantee that a plane will leave before the next general election?
Well, Kate, when it comes to the Home Office, has actually published a notice earlier this year which gave a full country guidance on Rwanda. As I said, we are working extremely hard to make sure that we can get a plane off as planned in the spring. Next, can I turn to the Daily Mail?
Thanks, PM. Jesse Gross from the Daily Mail. We've had a lot of talk and a lot of legislation from quite a lot of PMs on this issue, and you're offering more of the same today. I mean, to return to Kate's question, I mean, people's patience has worn thin. Can you give us a guarantee today that you will get those flights off before the election? Because you do have options, and at the moment it looks like it's all going to get stuck in the courts again.
Well, what I'd say, Jason, is, look, I understand people's frustrations. Then we need to revisit those relationships, and I will not allow a foreign court to block those flights. It is fundamental to me that we deliver on this priority. Stopping the boats is the country's priority, it's Home Secretary's priority, it's my priority, and we're going to get the job done. And lastly, if I could go to the Daily Express.
Thanks, Prime Minister. Sam, this is Daily Express. Can you be explicit about exactly how you intend to stop European intervention on this matter, because it isn't really clear? And also, we've had two comments, one from former Home Secretary Priti Patel saying that actually the Court of Appeal ruling was explicit in its concerns about this issue, and you should have been able to see that at the time and mitigate against it to prevent this happening. And allies of Suella Braverman say that they try to see it off with action to prevent this as well. So two former Home Secretaries suggesting you should have seen this off months ago. So why didn't you?
Well, lots in there, Sam. Just first of all, we've delivered more in this last year to actually tackle this issue than any government has previously. That Rwanda is a safe country for these purposes and meets all our obligations. And I want to be crystal clear about that, because we will stop the boats, and getting this policy working is vital to doing that, and we will do absolutely everything that is necessary.
Click here to see Lindsay Hoyle, Speaker of the House, voicing his concerns over the appointment of David Cameron.